And a pleasant good morning and welcome to Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion football. The 11U team taking on the Union Rams here at Woodman Field. Mike Formisano along with you, calling today's action. Thanks so much for joining us on this beautiful but warm Sunday morning on Labor Day weekend, as summer has not lost its grip on our year so far, and we still have a few more heated weeks of 90-degree weather coming. So Pope John Lions looking to get their first win of the season at the 11U level. They took on the Mo Better Jaguars last week in the home opener at Pope John High School, and we're on the short end of the stick, 21-6. However, Pope John looking to rebound today against Union and get that first win of the season. Let's go over the roster for the 11U Pope John Lions, starting with number 1, Dominic Diarco. Number 4 is Connor Hart. Number 5, Betty Platt. Number 8, Charlie Formisano. Number 9, Braden Coulson. Number 13 is Evan Nisbeth. 15 is Roger Milner. 23 is Sean Klebitz. 25 is Declan Griffith. 26, Braden Convey. 30 is Ryan Hart. 32 is Lachlan Sertival. 33, Ryan Labreglia. 36 is Wyatt Miller. 40 is Jacob Jessup-Maria. 43 is Tyler Killen. 44, Jared Hawthorne. 45 is Jude Cofrancesco. 56 is Robert Zawicki. And 61 is Anthony Grego. The head coach of the Pope John Lions 11 and under squad is Jared Cofrancesco, assisted by Dan Platt, Dan Lambreglia, Nick Colson, Jim Miller, and Rob Zawicki. The league president is Chris Bronco. The league VP is Dave Diarco. The team mom, who keeps it all together, is Kathy Jessup-Maria. And the head coach of the Pope John varsity football team and president of operations is Dom Gaston. I'm Mike Formisano. We are at Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey, where the Pope John Lions 11 and under team look for their first win of the season against the Union Rams. Captains are at midfield now for the coin toss, and we'll see if Pope John starts with the ball or on defense first. And we will be right back with the beginning of that game between Pope John and Union right after this. Welcome back to Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion football, 11 and under. Mike Formisano here, calling today's action. Captains at midfield, number 33 is Ryan Lambreglia, number 30, Ryan Hart, and number 25, Declan Griffith. And they are with Coach Jared Cofrancesco waiting the coin toss, and we will start action in just a few minutes. The Union Rams and the Pope John Lions get set to battle here in Montclair. Meanwhile, earlier this morning at 10 a.m., it was the 13 and under Pope John Lions taking on the Montclair Mounties, and they rolled to victory over Montclair by a score of 38-0. So Pope John 13 and under is 2-0 on the season, and the 11 and under team looking for their first win of the season. So captain still at midfield, now shaking hands, and we are almost ready for the opening of this game. No clock here being run at Montclair, so the referees will keep time on the field, and we'll keep the score in our head. And now the captain's coming off the field and getting set to do battle. Pope John and Union from Montclair. We'll be back with the start right after this.
Come on.
Welcome back to Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey for the start of 11U football between the Pope John Junior Lions and the Union Rams. Mike Formasano calling today's game. Thanks so much for joining us on this beautiful Sunday morning on Labor Day weekend. Union will start with the ball first. They are in their home black uniforms trimmed by yellow and red and gray helmets. They're traveling right to left. Pope John in their road whites trimmed by blue and gold. And we get set to get started here. First play from scrimmage, and here's the handoff over to the Union running back to the far sideline. Met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Good play by the Pope John defense. Number 40, Jacob Jesmaria, and number 9, Braden Colson in on that tackle. So it'll be second and long, Union. No kickoffs for the 11U team here in Pop Warner play. So they just start the ball at the 35-yard line after change of possession. So second and long. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line for Union. Quarterback under center. Take the snap. It looks like number 2. Bumps into the running back, but the running back picks up the ball and now travels through the middle and stopped by Declan Griffith and Jacob Jesmaria. In on the tackle, and it'll bring up third and long for Union. Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. They have to get to the 45 for first down. Pope John 0-1 in the season. They were defeated last week at home in the home opener against Mo Better, the Jaguars, winning 21-6. So the Lions looking for their first win of the season. Quarterback waiting for instructions from the coaches on the sidelines. Possibly trying for a last-minute substitution. They don't get it. Here's the handoff to the fullback and goes up the middle, and Pope John meets him right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets about a yard to the 40, but a whole sea of Lions in on that. There's Platt, Jesmaria, Griffith, and a few others. Number 56, also Robert Zwicky. And so the Lions forcing a fourth and long for Union. No score between the Lions and Rams here at Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey. Pope John and Union doing battle here on this Sunday morning, Labor Day weekend. Hope you enjoy it. And I hope the kids get one last breath of summer before starting school this week. Got a flag on the play. It looks to be an offside. We'll see who it's called against. I think it's going to be called against Pope John. So if it is, and it is a first down. So the penalty gives Union the first down. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line of Union. So the Rams bailed out on that penalty call, encroachment by the defense, and gives them a new set of downs. First and 10 from the 46-yard line. Union under center. Here's a snap. We got another flag on the play. We'll see which way that goes. I think it's a false start, and it is. And so Union will be moved back 5 yards to the 41. Oh, what the referees giveth, they taketh away. False start on Union, and it's first and 15. Union up to the line. Here's the snap. Hand off to the running back. Goes to the near sideline on the left. And tackled in the backfield for a loss. It looks like Jacob Jesmaria on that, along with number 33, Ryan Lambreglia. And a sea of other lines as well. We're going to say it was a 3-yard loss down to the 38-yard line. Second and long for Union. They've got to get to Pope John territory to their 45 for another first down. Union already has one first down, but it was due to a fourth down penalty against Pope John. First drive of the game. We are still in the first quarter, midway through. No score between the Union Rams and the Pope John Lions. Here's a snap. Number 11 back. He's going to throw it. It's up in the air. Intercepted by Jacob Jessamaria. Jessamaria up the far sideline. He's got clear sailing to the 15, the 10 to 5. Touchdown Lions. Jacob Jessamaria with the interception and a pick six. Pope John up 6-0. So number 11 throwing that up in the air, and Jessamaria just waiting for it to come down. He makes the interception, cuts to the far sideline. And great job by the Pope John blockers. Go ahead and open up that path to the end zone for Jacob Jessamaria, number 40 for Pope John. And like his brother Vincent, had a great game in the 13U and also an interception return for a touchdown. Jacob does the same here. So 6-0, Pope John up on Union. Now the Lions up to the line. Number 23, Sean Clevitz under center. They're going to try for the point after touchdown. No kicking again. And here is the run over to Jessamaria. And he gets into the end zone for the point after touchdown. 7-0. Pope John up on the Union Rams. So now we'll set up at the 35-yard line, and Union will take over again. Pope John, without an offensive play so far, leads 7-0. We start at the 35-yard line of Union, 1st and 10. 7-0, Pope John. Defensive front of number 4, Connor Hart, number 8, Charlie Formasano, and number 43, Tyler Killen, along with linebackers number 3, number 9, Braden Colson, number 13, Evan Nisbeth, and then the secondary after that for Pope John. Flag on the play. False start against Union, and that'll drop the back 5 yards. So, 1st and 15. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line now. Late substitutions for Union. Now the Rams up to the line. 1st and 15 from their own 30. Pope John setting a 4-man front. Colson sneaking up there to help out. Here's a running back for Union, running to the far side. Brought down by man again, Jacob Jessamaria. Number 40 for Pope John with the open field tackle. And so Union faces a 3rd and long.
Hey, Gab. Hey, Mom. That's your little grandbaby out there. How does he feel?
So Union actually did gain a yard there, so they moved the ball back up to the 31-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and long. They've got to get to the 45 for a first.
Oh, wait, there. Who's going to the park? Vincent's going to the park? Okay.
Union to the line. Here's the snap. Handoff to the running back. Cuts through the middle and brought down by number 5, Betty Platt. Platt with the tackle. And that'll force 4th down upon Union. So Pope John 1 play away from getting the ball for their first offensive series. Well, I'll tell you, Coach Jared Cofrancesco's got to like what he sees so far from his team's defense. 4th and long for Union. Here's the snap. Number 11 rolls to his right and is brought down in the backfield. Again, Betty Platt with the tackle and a turnover on downs. Pope John will take over. Late first quarter, Pope John leads the Union Rams 7-0. We're at Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey, as Pope John 11 and under looking for their first victory of the season. This will be the first play on offense, as they've already scored on an interception return by Jacob Maria. Well, they're going to replay fourth down, I guess. Wait a minute. Referee's calling. They're going to call a timeout. So I guess that last play was negated. I mean, it was definitely fourth down. However, it looks like something that's not been communicated to me is making it so that they'll replay fourth down. So anyway, fourth down. And Union's going to go from their own 29-yard line. So timeout on the field. We'll be back to Montclair right after this. 7-0 Pope John over Union. Did I miss something? Did I miss? That was fourth down, wasn't it? Fifth down? Sixth?
What are you on Facebook? Right.
Facebook Live, Pope John Athletics - Junior Lions. And then the game will be recorded there as well, so you can see it at any time. Welcome back to Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey. Fourth down and long to go for Union as they trail Pope John 7-0. Here's the snap, false start, and that's going to push Union back another 5 yards. So setting up now at the 24-yard line, fourth and forever. Union's got to get to the 45-yard line for the first. The Rams up to the line. Pope John, 4-man up front. 11 throws it down the field. It's deflected and incomplete. The intended receiver got his hands on it, but wasn't able to bring the ball in. Good defense by Pope John. So now the Lions will take over, and they'll finally be able to run their first offensive play of the game. 7-0. Pope John leads on an interception return for a touchdown by Jacob Maria. And a point after touchdown by Maria as well. And so now the offense on the field for Pope John. And they're going to start in positive territory at the 24-yard line, just outside the red zone. Here's the quarterback, number 23, Sean Clemens. He hands it off to Betty Platt. Platt cuts through the middle. Now to the right. He goes out and stiff arms one defender. He's to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Lions! Betty Platt scampers in from 24 yards out. And the Pope John Lions take a 13-0 lead. Great run by Platt. The stiff arm there looked to be like Earl Campbell or Walter Payton. Sticking that arm out there and knocking down the defender. Opening up his way to the end zone. Platt runs in from 24 yards out. And it's 13-0 Pope John. So, one offensive play and 2 touchdowns for Pope John. And they are up 13-0. Talk about being efficient. Now, Pope John up to the line, looking for another point after a touchdown. Clements under center, number 23. He's got Maria in the fullback position. False start, I think Jacob jumped. So, yes, false start. And so it's going to move Pope John back. So they'll drop back to about the 7 or 8 yard line and attempt the point after from there. Now Pope John back up to the line. Klebitz under center. He's going to hand it off. That is number 33, Ryan Lambreglia. He's met in the backfield, and Lambreglia brought down at about the 12-yard line by Union. So the point after fails, and that'll keep the score 13-0. We'll set up at the 35-yard line again, and we'll return as Union comes up to the line. Actually, we're going to stay with you. It looks like they're getting up to the line pretty quickly here. So 13-0, Pope John over Union as we start things back up from the Union 35-yard line. Remember, no kickoffs in 11 and under at Pop Warner. So an interception return for a touchdown by Jacob Chesamaria. A 24-yard touchdown run by Benny Platt. And Pope John up 13-0. Union up to the line. 1st and 10. From the 35-yard line. Here's a snap. Ball hit the turf. It was picked up by the running back. And he brings it to the 42-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. So a little bit of confusion initially by Union, but they're able to make something of it. Gain some positive yardage, cutting through the Pope John defense. And they get the ball down to the 42. 2nd and 3 for Union. Pope John with 4 up front. Looks to be Jude Francesco, Tyler Killen, Charlie Formsano, and Anthony Grego. Also got Edvin Nisbeth right there, along with number 3, linebacker positions, and then the secondary as well, Betty Platt and Sean Klebitz. And I'm missing a couple of the players. Braden Colson, I think, in there as well. False start on Union. The Rams having problems getting in sync as they hike the ball. So another penalty, and they're driven back another 5 yards. Union killing themselves with these penalties here in this first quarter of play. It's been a long first quarter, and the time is being kept by the referees, and it's not on the scoreboard, so we don't know how much time is left. It's got to be late. Pope John up 13-0, looking to go 1-1 on the season. Here's a snap. Hand off to number 12. He'll roll to his right towards the far sideline. Cuts up to the 40 and is brought down at about the 41, maybe 42-yard line. So they gain back all their penalty yardage, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Not really long, maybe about 3 yards. So 3rd and 3. Ball spotted at the 43-yard line, so actually make it 32. All right, Union up to the line. 3rd and 2 to go. Rams with 2 runners in the backfield. It's handed off to the fullback, who's met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down at the 40-yard line. Good defense by Pope John. I did not see who made the initial hit. But Pope John Lions stand up Union at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him positive yardage, forward momentum, and they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So 4th and 2 now for Union. Late first quarter. Union to the line. 4th and 2. 5 men up front for Pope John. Here's the snap. 11 hands it off to 12. Towards the far sideline. Trying to get to the first down marker, and he is denied. Number 30 in on the tackle. That is number 30, Ryan Hart, and Connor Hart. So the Hart brothers bringing down Union on 4th down, and Pope John will take over. I believe that's the end of the first quarter as the teams head to the sidelines. So, end of the first quarter, Pope John leads 13-0. We'll be back to Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey, right after this.
I'm good. Balancing myself out.
Okay, Kat. Welcome back to Woodman Field in Montclair, New Jersey for the start of the second quarter between the Pope John Lions and the Union Rams. The 11 and under squad for Pope John looking for their first victory of the year in 2 contests, and they are well on their way, up 13-0. An interception return by Jacob Jesamaria and a 24-yard touchdown run by Benny Platt have given the Lions a 13-0 lead. Well, Pope John had just denied Union of a first down, so a turnover on downs. When we switch sides of the field, Pope John will take over at the Union 44. Pope John in their road white uniforms, trimmed by blue and gold. They're going right to left on your screen. Union in their black uniforms, trimmed by gold and red. Gold pants and red and silver helmets. Here's the snap to Platt. Platt up the middle to the right side. Still plowing his way past the 40 and gets to about the 39, maybe 38-yard line. We got a flag on the play. I think they may be calling a face mask. That's what it looks like. So we're going to see who that's called against. It's against Union. So we'll add to the yardage that Platt was able to get for Pope John, and it brings the ball all the way down into the, say, 24, 25-yard lines. The tent in the way now. Let me go up top and try and get video of this. Pope John to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Here's the snap by Clements. Clements rolls out and gives the handoff to the running back, Ryan Lambreglia. Lambreglia to the 10, the 5. He cuts back to the goal line, and he's dropped just shy of the end zone. Great run by Ryan Lambreglia, and Pope John, 1st and goal to go. A nice cutback by Lambreglia, almost into the end zone, but not quite. So, Pope John knocking on the door. 1st and goal, Lions, up 13-0. We're in the early second quarter here in Montclair, New Jersey. Clements up the center. Got Platt and Jesamaria in the backfield. Here's a snap. And it looks like he's brought down. Clements is Union able to cut through the offensive line. And Clements dropped for a loss. So, 2nd and goal. Clements coming back to the sideline to get instructions. Substitutions in the game. Number 8, Charlie Formisano. Number 13, Evan Nisbeth. And here comes Clements back into the huddle. Pope John looking to add to their 13-0 lead. The Lions up to the line of scrimmage. They're marking it at about the 3-yard line. Here's the handoff to number 3, Evan Nisbeth. Is he in? You're going to say he's just shy. They stopped him. Was that the extra try? Did he get in? So he got in initially. Okay, so my apologies. I missed that. Trying to see from this angle. Looks like he got in on that other rush. Clements did. And so the Lions are up now 19-0. So the extra point attempt, not good. And so Pope John able to take a 19-0 lead. So Clemens was able to actually get in on that last play, and that was the point after 10. So again, my apologies. Trying to see from this angle. They're going to spot the ball at the 35-yard line. You know, you look for the players to go ahead and celebrate, too, and didn't really see that initially, so it's tough to tell at this angle. So, but no excuses. 19-0. Pope John over Union. They'll start from the 35-yard line. Midway through the second quarter, Union starts at the 35-yard line. We get a whistle on the play and a timeout for Union, and we'll take one as well. Pope John leads Union 19-0. We'll be back to Montclair, New Jersey, right after this. How did I miss that? It was. You know, you just think you look for reactions. You look for the referees to go ahead and raise their arms, whistle, celebration, everybody's in. He just walked back from that. It was like, you know, it was like a loss of yardage. It was like, what? It's like, oh, he was in? I guess if you're scoring 19 or 38, it's no big deal. I would. I'd be doing a jig in the end zone. This felt like a long first half, though. And 13 just flew. It looked like we ended early. It was done by 11:15. I was hoping this won't be over early so I can get back down to South Jersey. Welcome back to Woodman Field here at Montclair, New Jersey for second quarter action between the Pope John Lions 11U squad and the Union Rams. Mike Formisano along with you. Calling today's action, Pope John up 19-0 on the Union Rams as they start from the 35-yard line. First and 10. Here's the snap. Handoff, it's fumbled. It's on the turf. And Pope John picks it up. And they recover. So, fumble recovery for Pope John. It looks to be number 10. And they don't have a name on number 10.
Number 10 is...
Do we know who changed jerseys?
Yes, that should be Jared Hawthorne.
Jared Hawthorne. Jared Hawthorne wearing number 10 today. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy doing it all for us. Definitely appreciate it. So, Jared Hawthorne wearing number 10. He was able to pick up the fumble on the ground, and Pope John takes over. Up already 19-0.
Nope, sorry.
And
that is Lachlan Sertival.
oh, okay. Change on the name. It's not Jared. It is Lachlan Sertival.
Wait, didn't you get one of the lanyards?
We did. He's not on here.
Oh, it's not accurate?
No, it's not accurate.
Oh, jeez. Oh. Excuse me.
Oh, man, emotion.
The lanyards are not accurate that were provided by the
And it should be...
That's okay. I think they were waiting for jerseys to come in.
Record me on the YouTube video saying that it's not accurate. Yeah, I'll lay off. I waited for him to come in later. I started to get on. I sensed the stress. I was like, no, Rich, I'm waiting for Dad. I'm going to let you adjust.
So, Pope John setting up in Union territory, starting for the 25-yard line. So, number 10 being worn by Lachlan Sertival today, and he was the one making the fumble recovery on that last play.
Jason was in the bathroom for 45 minutes before I told his boys to stay over.
The Lions in the huddle. We get to late stages of the second quarter. 19-0. Pope John leads over Union. Waiting for the referee's whistle. There's a penalty on that last call, so it drove Pope John back. So they are now at the 25-yard line, pushed back from the 20. First and 15 for the Lions. Clemens comes back into the huddle. Here's Klebitz under center. Takes a handoff, and he is brought down by a Union defender. No. Ball to Justin Maria. Justin Maria rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown. So hands off to Justin Maria. Justin Maria plows his way 25 yards into the end zone. Touchdown Lions. And they go up 25-0. So I'll add another rushing touchdown to Pope John on that play. 25-0. Lions lead over Union. Second quarter. Point after touchdown attempt. Pope John up to the line. Here's a snap. Hand off. And stopped shy of the goal line. So point after touchdown, no good, and the score will remain 25-0. Pope John up on Union here from Montclair, New Jersey. Late stages of the first half.
Is it really? And you know,
Union gets the ball back at the 35-yard line. Defensive front set up by Pope John. Number 43, Tyler Killen. Number 8, Charlie Formasano. Number 10, Lockwood Sertivo. Not wearing number 32, so when I read the roster in the second half, I'll try and remember that. And number 25, Declan Griffith. Number 40 into the game, Jacob Jesamaria. Number 23, Sean Klebitz in the backfield as a safety. Number 5, Benny Platt in the linebacker position. Here's a snap. Pitched back to the running back who rolls to his right towards the near sideline. Brought down for a loss. Good tackle by the defense. I think it was Lombreglia in on that, number 33. Could have been Platt, number 5 as well. So, loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. Union has to get to their own 45 for the first.
Guys, when I say same defense, and if you can't play, you gotta let me know. Okay, so if you're gonna see me defense, let me know.
So the Rams back up to the line. 2nd and long.
Andrew, Jacob scored again.
Here's the snap. Quarterback back to pass. Fires it downfield to number 7. He makes the catch. And he's in the clear. Sean Clements, last man back, and he's able to bring him down. So Clements saves a touchdown. However, number 7 for Union with the reception and brings it down all the way to the Pope John 30-yard line. So Union with a big pass play, and they are on the move. We get a whistle and stoppage in play. Set up for first down. We're going to mark it at the 29. So, pass play of about 30-35 yards to number 7 for Union. And the Rams, by far, with their biggest offensive player of the game. Union up to the line. Pope John trying to stop it. We got a flag on the play. I think they're counting the players. They may have too many. That's what it is. Too many men on the field against Pope John. And so they're going to move the ball 5 more yards towards the end zone. So that'll bring it to the 24-yard line, and Union will start from there. 1st and 5. Man in motion. Handoff to the man in motion. Runs to the near sideline, trying to cut through the Pope John defense. Brought down by Lombreglia and also number 61, Anthony Grego. So a gain of about 3, and they'll set up 2nd and 2. Time winding down, however, in this first half. We'll see if Union can get on the board. So official timeout on the field. Players going for water. Union going to try and get on the board for the first time today. They're down 25-0 to Pope John, but they are just shy of the red zone right now at the 21-yard line. Late stages of the second quarter in a slow-moving game so far. That 13U game flew by as Pope John took a 38-0 victory over Montclair. Meanwhile, Union and Pope John here in the second game. The game has been moving at a slower pace, but Pope John's not going to complain, up 19-0. I say 19, I meant 25. 25-0. Here's the quarterback back to pass. The receiver on the far side, cutting past the Pope John defense. Finally brought down. But it looks like you got a first down on the play, so Union rushing to the line, trying to get points on the board before the end of the half. They're running out of time. Union will try and get this play off. Can they do so? Flag on the play. I think we have a false start. Yes, we do. Against Union, that'll drop them back 5 more yards. So, in a rush to try and get the play off, and a false start. Penalties have killed Union all day long. Here's the snap. Quarterback keep. Cuts through the middle. Stopped there by Jacob Chesamaria. Number 40 for Pope John. Brings him down at the 20-yard line. Second down. And that is it. Union has run out of time. So good effort by the Rams to try and get in the end zone for the first time, but they weren't able to make it all the way to the end zone. Pope John did enough to stop them, and they ran out of time. So at the half, it's Pope John 25, Union nothing. We'll be back with second half action from Montclair, New Jersey after halftime. Please join us back. We'll start a new feed.